I got some big news I want to share with you. For the first time in a long time, I am happy. It took a long time. It wasn't easy for me because I would be so focused on like the news and what's happening in the world, and I would get so anxious and depressed. Here's how I managed to get happy. I focus on the small little moments of wonder in my life, and I make them big. My favorite new small moment of wonder? My weather app. Oh, I love my weather app. It's on my phone, in my pocket. I can pull it out any time, and it gives me a 7-day forecast. Think about how incredible that is, that we live in a time where there are people who really believe there's going to be 7 more days. It's incredible. I look at it, I go, if they can do it, I can do it. They've chosen the weather for the week. They're not going to shut the whole thing down now. They've picked out what we're going to wear. Yeah, it's tough because I look at the news. Sometimes I see good things in the news. I don't know if you saw the news the other day, if you believe the New York Times is the news. I do. By the way, I do believe the New York Times is just a level set. The New York Times is the news. They came out with the investigation to the fire at Notre Dame Cathedral. The New York Times put out an investigation. It turns out the firefighters had trouble reaching the fire because they couldn't get up the narrow passageways of the cathedral with their modern equipment. And this is amazing what the Catholic Church did to get rid of the fire. They quietly transferred the fire to another diocese. That's some good Catholic thinking. I'm a native New Yorker. Okay, my parents fucked here. That's all that happens. And as a native New Yorker, I've experienced all 5 stages of grief. Do we know the stages? Have we been in therapy? Denial, anger, bargaining, depression, acceptance. Or as I like to call the stages, Manhattan, Bronx, Brooklyn, Queens, and Staten Island. Manhattan's denial, completely. You come to this island thinking you're going to get something like a bedroom with a door. You're in denial. And have you been to a public school in the Bronx? Anger. And then there's the bargaining of Brooklyn. No, it's the city. And then you move into the depression of Queens, because no one's going to visit you in Queens. And then there's happiness and acceptance in Staten Island. People from Staten Island are the happiest people you will ever meet. Not a hope or dream in the bucket. They've given up, and they've accepted where they are in life. I'm jealous. I grew up in New York, and when I grew up here, I went to a very racist school. I was homeschooled. And, when I was around 14 and I was starting to date, my parents said, now that you're dating, we expect you to bring home someone who's like the family. I said, like the family? You mean neurotic? What do you mean like the family? They said, no, we just wouldn't expect you to bring home a black girl. And I was pretty bummed, but I did what they said. I never brought home a black girl. But I brought home a lot of black guys. And after that, my parents would have been thrilled if I brought home a black girl. I think my homosexuality made them more progressive when it comes to race. I was dating a black guy for a while, and I don't normally get fucked. Because I'm a bro. And he said, let's try. And we tried, and he kept losing his erection. And I said, is it me? What is it? He goes, now, Jeff, when it comes to fucking, I prefer another black guy. He said, I like a black ass. Now, I know it's not cool to dress in black face. Can't do it. Can't do it. 2019. Can't do it. Won't do it. I used to be with women, not anymore, sorry ladies. One of the last sexual encounters I had with a woman was very awkward because she asked me to fist her. I know, I hate you exactly. And it was awkward because I'm white and she was black. So I didn't know if I was supposed to go like this or like this or like this. You know, I didn't know. It's very confusing. That's why you can't mix the races. It's very confusing. Like I said, growing up was hard. My dad used to hit me a lot. And that was normal for the 70s. That's what you did. You take your family out and hit them. But even the neighbors were like, that's a lot of hitting, even for the 70s. And later on in life, my dad, he was on his deathbed. And I went down to say goodbye to him, and he apologized for everything. And I forgave him. I wound up thanking him, and he thanked me. And we had this really wonderful moment of closure. And then he lived. He made a complete recovery. You ever leave your office with a coworker, then you go outside and say goodbye to each other, and you realize you're both walking the same way? And you got nothing to say to each other? That's me and my dad for the rest of our lives.